Welcome back to Rip the Net. We're here.
Yes.
The transfer window is done. It's over. Kaput, whatever they say. And it's time we rank some of these transfers. We got a tier list for you. We're excited to go through them. Deadline day was crazy. But now it's on to the season. Straight football. No more of this yappa about prices and all this stuff. Straight tactics. But one last episode about the prices. So let's get into it. Alexi, how you feeling?
Man, feeling good. A lot happened this summer. Good, bad, not so great, terrible. A lot to talk about.
For sure. So let's get straight into it. First up, Manuel Akanji, City to Inter Milan. Any thoughts on this one? Or, you've been kind of washed. I don't want to hate on him, but you've been kind of in and out of that City team for years anyway. So,
yeah, I was gonna say he's never been a big priority player for them, and Inter. I mean, they need all the help they could get, clearly, after last year's performance. So, this is good for them. For him, who knows? Maybe he'll get some more play time. So,
yeah, I agree.
It kind of just seems like a good move. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I agree with good. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, this one, I'm gonna let you cook. This is your guy. Your GOAT. You're one of the biggest signings of the last few years,
Let's stop right there. Antony, man. I had sympathy, before. Like, he sucked at United, but he found his flow at Real Betis, and he was doing his thing there. The fans loved him. He loved it there. So it only made sense for him to transfer there within this summer transfer window. This dude was clearly working with Betis to get the cheapest price possible, because for some reason they were not willing to pay the already low price we had. I think it started around 50 or 40 million, maybe 40 million. But they were just not budget and not seeking out a deal until quite literally the last 2 days of the window. And then at that point, when a deal was agreed, it turns out there wasn't agreement on Antony's wages, and that he wanted to be paid as much as he was at United at Betis, which he's being paid an obscene amount, per day. And to me, that is a crazy request as a player who you've gone out and said, United, things were awful, but Betis, I love it here, blah, 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 blah. But you're not going to take a pay cut? Which, by the way, a pay cut where you're still getting paid a ton. So, for Betis, look, I think it's a good signing, but on a personal level, on a just respect level, Antony, bro, that is some scummy behavior from the two of them. So, if I look at it objectively, just as a player going to a team, probably good, but fuck that dude.
I think you laid it out well. I think objectively we probably have to put it in good, just because confusing is tough, because I understand it, but this summer is the summer of players pulling some shenanigans, so we'll put it that way. That's a little foreshadowing. But next up, Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid. This one was pretty much lined up for a while. We knew it was going to happen. This is the worst kept secret for a long time. They got him on a free, which for me, that might put it in game changer. I'm not going to lie. I think the fact that it changes how they might play, because he's a completely different type of right back to Carvajal, who was also injured, to be fair, but they don't have to play Valverde out there anymore. But
thank God.
Yeah, crazy use of his talents. But I think the fact that it is a free transfer, no matter how suspicious and it was along the way, I think that has to put it a level above the other ones.
No, I agree. I mean, his performances maybe haven't been game-changing as we've seen so far, but I think the potential is there. And again, just the fact that it was free, it's easily a game changer.
And at the end, I'll say this now, at the end, we'll only go up to game changer for now, and we'll pick one signing at the end to be the signing of the summer. So we have to be decisive and pick only one. But next up, Alvaro Carreras. This guy, I haven't watched too much of him. I've seen a little bit since he's been in Madrid. He played for, I think, Benfica. I think he came from the Madrid and then to United Academy, like back in the day. But this guy, from what I've seen already, he looks exciting. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think they were playing like Fran Garcia out there, who is decent, but this is like just a level up. And I think having him and Trent on either side, they're pretty much set for like the next, I don't know, however many 5 years. So for me, for Madrid especially, this could be a game changer. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a lot to be seen. So for now, I'll put it in good.
Yeah, I defer to you on this one. I do not know enough, but what I do know is that man Cherokee, Man City, he is gone for a couple months. I know that from our fantasy all too well. I think theoretically that transfer was a good one from what we've seen from him. He's certainly talented. But an injury so soon. I didn't see how it happened, so I don't know if he kind of just fell down or something directly caused it. But, it just, I have so much trauma from good players like Mason Mount getting injured every month or two. So if he ends up being one of those players where he's injured half the time, that could be a little confusing.
It could be.
But
it could be. And I think for him, the range is so much. I think he has the potential to be a game changer. And we might not see that for a while, obviously now with the injury, but still seeing him adjust to the league. But it also has the potential to be confusing because he's not really in the Pep. He's a very technical player, which Pep does like. But in recent years, this isn't the usual type of player Pep would go for. So he has the potential to not really work in this style of Pep system. But I do think he could be the next. Well, funny enough, he's next to De Bruyne. I think I'm not saying he's gonna be the next De Bruyne. De Bruyne does a lot more, but I think in terms of a system breaker for City specifically, I think he can be that new creative hub for the team. And I think that potential has me willing to put it in good. The injury does kind of mar it a little bit, but I think for now, I think good is fair enough.
Yeah, for sure. And now we get to your man.
My goat, man. My goat. Kevin De Bruyne. For me, it's got to go in good. It's got to go in good. I would put game changer, but Napoli won the league last year, and they also have Goat McTominay. So game changer feels like a bit much. I still think it's still a great.
I don't know if it's a bit much.
Okay,
I don't know. Go. With Goat McTominay, and we'll get to it, but Højlund too, where came from the Serie A, could maybe perform there again with that De Bruyne service. I could see it being a game changer for them in the European tournaments.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. I think the league, they'll continue to do well, but in the Champions League, it could be really entertaining.
No, you persuaded me. I wasn't thinking about Champions League. I like that, especially him on Champions League nights. That's a game changer. That's a big game changer.
Yeah.
Now this one, Gianluigi Donnarumma.
Was this confirmed? I forget if I saw if this was.
This was confirmed from what I saw.
Okay.
But not for. I think this was one of those deadline day deals. It wasn't the craziest fee, which considering.
Which pisses me off, bro.
Yeah.
It's Man City.
They consistently Cherki was only 35 million, which is supposed to be a crazy talent, and then Donnarumma. 26 million apparently is what I'm seeing for Donnarumma, which is what the hell? This is the arguably.
How much did United pay for our keeper? Hold on. I don't even know how you spell his name. I'm also in all caps, which I'm realizing it's not very.
I'm pretty sure they starts with an L.
Bro, you're telling me 18 mil for that dude? And 26 mil for Donnarumma, an 8 mil difference.
The Champions League winning keeper who had his best season last season.
Who's just been one of the best keepers the past 5 years. He's been up there.
But to be honest, despite the fee, despite the fact that he's a good keeper, I have this in confusing. I'm not going to lie. I think because of the play style, it's kind of similar to Cherky, but Cherky makes more sense in terms of the technicality. Donnarumma is not a ball-playing keeper. And kept going from Ederson, who was like the ball-playing keeper, to Donnarumma, who's like the antithesis of ball-playing keepers. He's like a premier shot stopper, which, arguably you could say City need. Maybe they just need to have someone sure at the back who will save. But he also isn't a great cross-claimer. I don't know. This one is interesting to me, especially because they just bought James Trafford, who's a guy from their academy, who was a ball-playing keeper, who's supposed to be the future. And they now are ditching him for Donnarumma. Well, first of all, James Trafford, you messed up, bro. You could have gone to Newcastle. Now you're about to sit behind Donnarumma and Donnarumma's still young.
Ekitike vibes, man.
Literally. And Donnarumma, he's been around for like 10 years, but dude's still only like 25, 26. Like, it's crazy. So he still has a long future ahead of him at City if he wants to stay there. I don't know. For me, it's confusing because of the play style. I don't think, unless Pep's just completely changing his system and they're no longer playing out from the back, this one doesn't make that much sense to me.
Yeah, I agree in that. I think if it made more sense for the Man City team, it would be a good or close to game-changing signing. But because of everything you just said, it is a little confusing. Yeah. And like, I never got the feeling that Ederson needed to go or was a problem within that team. So, yeah, it is a bit odd.
The next up, you did a little foreshadowing there. Ekitike.
Yeah.
How you feeling about this one?
Yeah. Look, there are two players, or actually one player. Never mind. I didn't see Isak on this list for a sec, but I see we do have him there. Before Isak was confirmed to be going to Liverpool, I would have said this is a great signing. A lot of clubs were fighting over this guy, and everyone views him as a young talent, someone who could really be a strong player in the future. That said, the fact that Liverpool now have got Isak from Newcastle, confusing. Confusing. Why are you signing this dude if he's gonna have no play time? Like, as your backup, like that's just very strange to me. So
I hear you. And I don't disagree with anything you said, really. The only thing that would bump it up to good for me is Isak's history with injury and Salah's age. Those two things make me think that Ekitike, even if it's not this season, which I still think he'll get minutes this season, because at the end of the day, he's probably still better than Gakpo. So, as much as I wouldn't want to see it, they could play him off the left, which I think is a bit harsh because he's played so well up front to start. But if we're looking at future-proofing the side, eventually Salah is going to get phased out. We could be looking at, okay, they play two up top, Ekitike and Isak, which is a crazy strike partnership with Wirtz in behind them. Or even this year, they could play like a 4-2-2-2 and have Salah and Wirtz like kind of wide inside forwards, wide attacking midfielders, and have both of them up top. I'm curious to see what Slot has in mind because he's wanted Isak all summer, so clearly he has a plan, but I just want to see it play out on the pitch. But because of what you said, I can't put it in game changer. So I think good.
I think good is fair.
Fair.
Because at the end of the day, he is a good player.
Yeah.
But it's more so the Liverpool signing strategy that is confusing. Next up, Elanga, Newcastle. Honestly, I kind of see it.
I see it.
It ain't much more than that. It seems fine. Good, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah. I think it's an upgrade on Murphy, who they had last year. I think any upgrade in the team, in the first team, is a good signing. So I like that.
Yeah.
Now, my guy. Some call him Esteval. Some call him Steval. Some call him Steve. We already have a song for him over at Chelsea. We go, Esteval, I like it. Brother.
Hey, yo!
All I'm saying is we might have got us one. This type of player usually goes to Madrid or Barcelona as a youth from straight out of Brazil. They go straight over there and just start lighting up La Liga. It's very unusual for this player to come to the Premier League and to come to Chelsea. I think this is maybe a sign of things to come because we have Kendry Paez coming next year. But I like it. I think game changer. I can't go that far, honestly, because we have so many wide talents, especially with another one that came up, that's coming up in a few places, that he's really going to be in a rotation, I think, over the course of the season. But I think it's a good signing. At least so far, he's looked exciting. He provides something different on the wing. He likes to drift inside, pick up more of like 10 spaces, especially with Palmer injured right now. We kind of need that. So I think it's a good signing, personally.
Yeah, I'll take your word on it.
Eberechi Eze.
This was another one I was talking about for a while.
Yeah.
And people didn't think was going to go through. Albeit, Arsenal signings so far have kind of, been a bit iffy, I'll say. Based on the past 2 games I've seen them have, like their whole play style this season, I mean last season too, but especially this season, it's just boring.
Yeah.
Just playing for set pieces.
Yeah.
And like really lame. So I don't really see how Eze is like why would you do that? I don't know.
The interesting thing with Eze is I think of all their signings, he has the most game-changing potential. But it's weird because now knowing the context of their whole window, I still don't think they really fulfilled like that need on the left wing. Sure, Eze can play out there, but that's not really his position. Like he's more going to want to drift inside, pick up more 10 spaces. And especially Odegaard injured, he'll probably start out playing the 10, I'm guessing. Or maybe they'll play together. But the fact that they didn't go and get like a Rodrigo or something like that, it doesn't even have to be Rodrigo specifically, but some kind of lights out left winger makes it a little more confusing. But I can't put him in confusing. He's a good player. And I think the main thing with him is that he's Premier League proven. He was probably one of the best, if not the best player outside of the big 6 teams. So the fact that they got him and he has the creative potential, which I think what you said about Arsenal being boring, I think he provides a spark that no one else has. Like Odegaard, people used to compare this to De Bruyne. He's a back pass merchant, bro. This dude is so scared to play a final ball into the box or something. He just doesn't have that killer pass. But Eze, I think he has more of that potential. So
hopefully he retains it too. And it isn't
coached out of him,
shut down by the Arteta tactics. You know?
I was tempted to go game changer, but you feel a little not as strong on it. So I think good is a fair compromise.
Yeah, I feel like it's a wait and see thing, to be honest. Frimpong, I mean, it's kind of a game changer in my eyes. He's arguably one of the best defenders to be signed this window.
For the price too, good price. I think it was like
good price,
less than 40 mil.
And like just with the rest of Liverpool's signings and the fresh legs and who they've been able to assemble, scary.
And he has the connection with Verts already, which I think is another big one for their future. And I think because AFCON is this year, Salah's going to be out. I think in January or something, he can play in those right wing spaces. He's so different from Trent. So I think from that already, it's a game changing, at least for the tactics. I like that one, even though he's injured right now, but I like that one. Now this one.
Yeah, I do too. Fuck that. Fuck this guy too, man. I always loved Chelsea, my ass.
No, all I'm saying is, in the past,
bro didn't even post a goodbye to Man U. He only posted a ChatGPT generated goodbye.
As he should.
After people were like, "Damn." No, not as he should, bro.
Here's my
thing.
Here's my thing.
Say your thing.
In the past, I've been a little harsh on Garnacho. I've been honest about him. I think.
As have I.
Yeah, and I think he's not the way he thinks about himself, that self-belief, I respect it. The dude thinks he's the next Ronaldo. I'll be honest with you, bro. You're not. You're not. You're above average talent, but nothing special. At least that's what I said in the past. But now that he's got on the blue, get ready for the switch up. Go Nacho! Go Nacho!
Nah.
I'm trolling. No. Honestly,
Crazy.
Honestly, to me, it's just good to confusing, if anything. I think I'm not mad at it. I can understand why we did it. I think because we want 2 players in each position. I think Maresca has really set up this depth thing with the Premier League. Now we see Arsenal doing it where they have like 2 or 3 players in each position. Liverpool actually aren't that deep, but I think we're trying to really set up, okay, we have 2 players for each position. We're playing in a lot of games, and you have each player in these positions plays differently, so we can attack games tactically completely differently. Like Gittins is a ball to feet, dribble merchant who's trying to beat the guy. Garnacho can run in behind. We can play balls over the top to him, through balls to him, and he wants to cut in and score. Like, it's completely different play styles. And the same thing on the right with Esteval and Pedro Neto. Same thing with Palmer, and it was supposed to be Xavi Simons. It didn't happen. But you got Bonanotte in. There's a kid on loan, or even João Pedro who can play in the 10. So I think I can see that. Was it worth? And also, I think the fee was good. I think considering what Garnacho has done in recent years,
we got robbed.
The fee was good.
We got robbed.
So, is it like the signing I was dreaming of this summer? Honestly, no. I'm going to keep it on a buck. I wasn't at the beginning of the summer. You would have heard me say I'm not looking for a Garnacho transfer, but considering how the summer played out, I'm not mad at it. I could see a good. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And you know what? It's good for Man U. Get that toxic dude out of here.
Yeah, and you guys need to
have him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need the money. Y'all can deal with that ego. Yeah. I don't got the patience. Next up, Victor hairstylist Gyökeres.
Yeah. Interesting.
Before seeing him play in the Arsenal team, I would have said it's a game changer. After seeing him play, I think it's fine. We really needed a tier for just fine.
Okay, so let's change. Let's change. We can do it right now. Let's change confusing to meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's change confusing.
In that regard, then he's in there.
Yeah, that fits more.
Yeah. Because.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
No disrespect to him, but he just, I don't know. He doesn't look that technically sound, and maybe you don't have to be physically he has what it takes to succeed. Yeah, but even given that, I've seen him get bodied by some of these Premier League defenders. I think he thought he would have run.
Delict put him in a pocket in that Arsenal game.
I think he thinks
so it's like
he's gonna run through guys. This ain't Portugal, bro. Like, you're not just gonna run over dudes like you did in Ligue Noche or whatever. This is a different game, a much more physical game, and if you don't have the technical side, you have to at least be physically dominant. And he's not necessarily that yet. So I don't know. Some of his touches are a little wonky. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
He still could end up scoring 20 goals just because Arsenal might create a lot with Eze now, but for now I think it's a bit meh.
Yeah. Agreed.
But your boy up next, Højlund.
My boy, Højlund. This one was a little sad in that his heart was in the right place at Man U, but he had the time to prove himself, especially with Amorim. He just never did. He never lived up to the potential or took advantage of those opportunities. And so I think him going back to Syria is the right move. Like, he would have been held hostage at Man U otherwise on the bench, and no one wants that. And yeah, I think for Napoli, like we said before, like, I think getting these like Prem players in recent years has been a big boost to their team. Not just like on a international fandom level, but actually in their results and the link up play potential. I just see it being good. Like, for the type of player Højlund is and the hold up he does, working with a McTominay, I don't know. That could be some exciting stuff. So I think it's good.
I see. I didn't think about it before, but once you mentioned a little bit earlier, a striker starts with an H, ends with a D, Scandinavian, blonde, tall, and now he's gonna be wearing light blue, and he has a guy named Kevin De Bruyne supplying the bullets now. There's a lot of parallels that might mean that Højlund might refine some form out in Serie A.
I might find that Holland spirit,
and I actually don't mind that, so I think I'll go good as well. Dean Huijsen was in the Premier League last year, playing for Bournemouth. They had a breakout season, and it was clearly enough just to get the straight jump up to Real Madrid. Now he's probably going to be starting out there because they always have center back injuries too. But he's just a good player. He's super young. I think he's like 21 or something. But I think Spain has their center backs sorted for the next 10 years, him and Kubarsi. I like this move. I honestly think this is a game changer. Like, I think this guy is really good. And we could see the next, like, maybe 2 to 3 years, he could be up there in those, like, best in the world conversations for center back. So I like that.
I'll take your word for it. I do not know enough personally. But
yeah, fair.
I will be paying attention now in these Madrid games.
Exactly. Now, the big one.
Arguably a big contender for signing of the summer.
Indeed.
Isak to Liverpool from Newcastle.
How you feel?
Scary, man.
As a United fan, how do you feel about the prospect of Liverpool going on to stretch that lead of the most championships in the first division?
I don't want to consider that right now. We have a whole season to go. We're still top of the table right now. So we're not top of the table, in the
mix,
half,
yeah, top half,
table.
Top half.
But Isak, yeah. Look, I am a jealous man. We ourselves needed some strikers, some forwards, and we are too broke. And Liverpool this summer pulled out all the cash, took out all the loans, and had this record-breaking signing. What was it, like 150 mil, I think?
It was like 135 or something.
135. It was the highest transfer fee, though, now in the Prem.
Mm-hmm. Breaking their own record of like 2 months ago, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Exactly. Two of that scale in the summer is insane, but talking about just the actual player, it's going to be terrifying, especially with working with Salah, and Salah, getting older as well. Isak being kind of a long-term role up there. Terrifying, man. This is a game changer.
It has to be.
It just is.
But now that you mentioned the fee, I forgot Ekitike went for 90 mil, which 90 mil for a backup potentially is.
That's what I'm saying.
Interesting. I can't put him in meh personally, just because the eye test, he's been so much more convincing to me than someone like Gyökeres. But Isak, you said it all. These guys, actually, before we move on from him, I just do have to say, 135 mil, whatever it is, after the Verts, after the Ekitike. I know we're talking about Prem right now, but I'm not gonna lie. You're looking like you got to win a trouble. I'm not gonna lie to you. You just won the league. You then spent 500 million over the summer. I think it's 4 something.
Yeah,
almost 500 million over the summer. I know net spend is less because you made good sales, whatever. But the additions to this team, it's first of all, Premier League is the floor. If you don't win the Premier League, that's already, what are you doing? You have to win the Champions League if you don't win the Premier League. But I think the Premier League is the minimum. Champions League, you gotta at least reach the final. Winning the Champions League final, that's always like whatever happens on the day.
With a squad like this, yeah,
you gotta reach the final, personally. So we'll see. I think that will be the big test of how much a game changer. I think they were already going to win the league without Isak, but I think with Isak, now we're talking bigger competitions. So got to be a game changer for that. Now, Jonathan David to Juventus. This one, I'll be honest, I don't know enough. He was playing out in the French league before, and I don't watch the French league, so I can't speak too much. I've heard good things about him. Yeah, crazy. I heard good things about him personally, but I can't say this is going to be some game changer or anything for Juventus, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Now, João Pedro. to me, and you can come in and disagree if you want. I think of the Chelsea signings, he's the game changer out of all of them. I wouldn't say that about Gittins. I wouldn't say that about Esteval, Garnacho. We already talked about them. But to me, and Delap, I wouldn't say that about him either. But he has the potential. Now, I didn't at Brighton, he was good, but I didn't know how much of a goal scorer he could be. Like now he's showing it in recent games. The aerial game, he scored some headers recently from corners and stuff. Like his all-round game is way more impressive than I thought it was. And the fact that him and Palmer are already creating a little partnership, the fact that he can then also drop into the 10, and he was playing with Delap, who Delap was playing up top, and they were getting a little connection going. I think he can make a big jump in people's minds from like a decent Premier League striker to like up there. Obviously, it's tough. You're not going to be Haaland or Isak, whatever. But I think he could be right in that tier, right behind them, where he's scoring 20 goals this season or something. So for me, that's a game changer.
No, I agree with everything you said. I think for Chelsea signings, he's probably the best and biggest. And this actually reminded me, we don't have Delap on this tier list, nor do we have Sancho, who last minute.
Yeah, I think this one
went to Villa.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about. We'll
talk about those separately.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on that.
Kolo Muani to Spurs on loan, which is a big factor. I think it's a straight loan, which is
like no obligation or anything.
Yeah, but I think it's good business. Honestly, I think for Spurs, they bought a lot in the attacking areas. Like you'll see coming up right next, Kudus as well. But he can play all across the front three, which I think is good for them because Kudus can also play on either side. Xavi Simons, we'll talk about later, has some versatility, can play on the left, can play in the 10. Richarlison started on fire. They still have Solanke coming back from injury. They have Kulusevski coming back from injury. James Maddison, I think he's out for like a long time, but the fact that that's another creative midfielder. They still have Brennan Johnson. Like they have a lot of attacking talent now. I think Kolo Muani just adds another string to the bow. So I like it. I think it's a good signing for a loan specifically. If it was like some crazy fee, okay, then I don't know. But I think a loan, I think that's good.
I feel like honestly, just the big six clubs in general underutilize the loan as a straight loan without that obligation.
Yeah, I feel like it's rare you see a straight loan these days from like those bigger.
It is, and I feel like just speaking about Man U for a sec, like the fact we didn't do a straight loan for a midfielder is crazy. Like we have no depth there.
Yeah. You guys could have really used a loan. Yeah.
So we got to learn from Tottenham, man. They're doing something
some good business. Good business. And speaking of Mohamed Kudus, another one. Arguably, it's tough to put him on the level of the ones in Game Changer, but I think he's a bigger signing than Kolo Muani. I think for Tottenham specifically. He's a good player. He's already started well. He's getting a good partnership with Richarlison. I like this one a lot. I think I probably see the thing is we have Xavi Simons coming up. And I don't know who's the bigger game changer. But Kudus has more experience in the league. So that could give him the edge.
I think that'll give the edge. I think the trend has pointed to the more experience you have with the Prem, the better you're going to do. I think it's been at least from everything I've been seeing recently, no matter how good they are in another league, aka Gyökeres, it doesn't necessarily carry over.
Yeah. So I think Game Changer is fair. I think that's probably their best signing this season. Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich for like
worst kept secret.
I think he went for like 80 mil or something, or like I think at least 75 or something like that. It was like,
dude, there's got to be some laundering going on because
crazy price.
I don't get that.
Crazy price.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, honestly, Bayern might have had one of the worst windows I've seen in a long time. Like the way they were getting, if you look, I saw a list.
It was almost worse. I just read they approached Antony 2 days before the window opened.
No way, bro. No way. Bayern just looking desperate.
If that's who you're approaching, bro.
And I honestly think they don't have the pull they used to have. Like I feel like when we maybe when we were in high school,
ever since Harry Kane went there, man, things kind of
but they used
went
to consistently like any good player that popped up in the Bundesliga for any other team. The Bayern was like, yeah, we'll take that one. Here go two more for y'all. We'll take them. The only ones like Royce who didn't ever leave and go to Bayern. Who I respect him for that, honestly. But now these
Bayern were scary. They were scary.
They were ridiculous. Every top team in Germany had their club rated by Bayern. But now, if you look at this summer, Wirtz left the Bundesliga. Frimpong left the Bundesliga. That Voltemata guy we're gonna talk about soon. He left the Bundesliga. There's a bunch of them. Seshko left the Bundesliga. Ekitike left the Bundesliga. There's probably others that I'm not even thinking of as well. Who usually would be guys and Bayern tried to get almost all of them, and they all were like, "Nah, we're good. We're gonna go to the Premier League. The money's better. It just is what it is." So for me, now Luis Diaz, he's a good player. No disrespect to him, but
it is a mess.
It's a mess signing for the price. Yeah, it's a bit much.
Which it's crazy in our Met category. These names
because they're good players, and they're probably some of the more proven players over the last couple of years in their leagues. Anyway, let's put it that way, because But Cunha, I'll let you cook for these next two. Let you do your thing. How are you feeling about these?
Yeah, these next two, I'm gonna be so real, and this is not some dick riding shit. These are both game changers with the Man U team. I'll start with Cunha. He hasn't scored yet, and he did miss a penalty against Grimsby, or was that in Mbeumo? I think his penalty was saved. Either way,
Cunha did miss, yeah.
Cunha did miss, yeah. See, there were 12, so I already forget how it went down. But as simply a player who can be creative, who can create opportunities, take shots, Premier League proven. I mean, he's been incredible in that regard. And seeing him play, especially with Mbeumo, I mean, it's made me realize how much we've been missing on our forward line. So if I had to pick one, I would probably pick Mbeumo, just because he's the one who has scored and has consistently created, I think, a bit more opportunities than Cunha, plus the fact Cunha now has a hamstring injury, so he's going to be out for a bit. But these are both game changers in my eyes, and they are both incredible players at their own teams beforehand. So, I think they've proven their worth. And I think their prices as well, what we got them for, I think that's fair.
I'm personally more inclined to only put Mbeumo in game changer and put Cunha in good. Looking at the other names, and I think Cunha is good, and maybe he could be a game changer down the line, and maybe he has more
I'm leaning on that down the line, so that makes sense.
But the fact that now that we have the privilege of having seen it play out a little bit, and he's been good, but the fact that it still, despite the amount of money you can spend on both of them, that it took a while to even score from open play, not own goals, I think that's where it's that's a little spooky, and obviously Cunha still hasn't, so we'll see about that. But Luka Modric, one of the goats, and Inter Milan have a weird history of signing players randomly. AC Milan have had a weird history of signing players randomly. You look back at the history, they have a bunch of players that just randomly play for them at this time or another. And now Luka Modric gets added to that. In 10 years, we're going to be wait, Luka Modric played for AC Milan? But I like it. Honestly.
I like it a lot. And I think I watched a couple games of theirs recently, and I think Modric is a good person to have there with the creativity and experience, and who can just help create those opportunities. I don't think anyone else on their team is really excelling at that more than Modric, so it's a good signing for them.
I think it's at least good. I think leadership as well. And they have honestly been kind of mid in recent years. So I think just having that experience, I agree.
I'm hoping having that experience can kind of be what gives them a bit of a bounce back.
Yeah. Now, Nico Jackson.
This was dramatic.
Yeah, a lot of deadline day shenanigans leading up to deadline day as well. Just to quickly, if anyone doesn't know, we were trying to get him out on loan to Bayern with an option to buy. But then Delap got injured, and the day this deal was being secured, he flew out there already. And we were like, you know what, Nico? Come back home, brother. You know, we never wanted to get rid of you anyway. We need you. And he was like, him and his agent were like, you know, the flame doesn't fly backwards, apparently. I don't know exactly what that means because, you know, there's something called turning. But, you know, he was like, the flame doesn't fly backwards. They suck it out in Bayern. We went and brought back Mark Guiu or Gui, whatever, how you say it, who was on loan at some team in the Prem, I forget. It's one of the really lower teams in the Prem. So he came back. So he basically saved Jackson. He came back off of loan so Jackson could actually get his move. And now, through Chelsea, I don't know, finessing, we're still the best sellers in the league because, oh my God, we turned an option to buy into an obligation that's worth like 75 mil or something, like including the add-ons, or damn near 80. Like for Nicholas Jackson, no disrespect.
For Nicholas Jackson,
I think he's a bit underrated in the Prem. He's decent goal tallies. He has decent link-up play, running the channels. Obviously, his finishing is on display. We all know it's not up there, but I think for a backup, who's our third string, to go to Bayern to be a backup for Harry Kane, for that to be an obligation for 75 million. First of all, for Bayern, SMH, bro. But for Chelsea, holy, like, what are we doing? We were pulling some sorcery to get these sales. This is crazy. And that's what makes you feel harsh. That makes it look like I think he's a bad player, and he's not.
But
isn't good.
The business side of it is really not ideal for Bayern. Yeah. I agree with, everything you said. So.
Yeah, GG's. But, you know, we might end up working out for him because Harry Kane is still like 32, 33 now. So, yeah, he maybe has a future there.
Maybe he's a Bundesliga talent, you know?
Yeah, we'll never know. I won't be watching. But Christopher Nkunku, the AC, I almost said Inter again. AC Milan. This one's kind of meh for me. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think
I agree.
He was a good talent. The injuries kind of cooked him at Chelsea. I know he wanted to go back to Leipzig, and we were trying to do that and grab Xavi Simons and give them Nkunku, but that didn't work out. But I think for his play style, the Bundesliga is where it's at. I think, if anything, Serie A is completely different. Maybe almost the opposite of the Bundesliga in terms of play style. To be fair, with the injuries, he's not as quick as he used to be, so maybe it's a slower game will suit him, but I don't know. For me, it's a bit meh. It's not as good as Modric, so I can't put him on the same level.
Yeah, no, definitely not. In fact, I think that's the simplest way of looking at it, of two signings for AC Milan between those two.
Yeah.
You know, it's not great when Modric is your best signing.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking good, man.
That dude is like, I don't even know how old he is at this point, like 37 probably.
Yeah, literally. I think he literally is. Now, and Rabiot.
Another one. Rabiot.
Honestly, I don't know.
My feeling.
Go ahead, yeah.
I only know a bit because there were rumors of him going to Man U in January, I believe. And I was not for it, man. Like, just with his stats and performance, he really seems like a backup option, not someone you want to be starting consistently. Yeah, I think that alone, I have to put it in a meh signing because it's not like he's awful, but
and it's only 10 mil apparently. I just looked at it. It's only 10 mil, but
then for 10 mil,
I still think it's all right. Like,
it's all right. Yeah, I got nothing serious to say about that, but what I do have something serious to say about is for Marcus Rashford, Barcelona, my GOAT, Yeah. I'm happy for Rashford, man. I really hope, as of right now, this is a loan for the season, but I really hope this turns into a longer term thing between him and Barca if it can work out. That change of environment, man. Aston Villa was the first step, but this can hopefully be the second and longer step. He's gotten great reception there. He's done decently well there. Clearly is very happy there. Good signing for Barca.
I agree. I think it's a good signing. I think so far too, he's looked good. I haven't watched like a bunch of their games, but from what I've seen,
just the highlights.
He looks like he's keeping his head down. He's working. He's fitting in the system. Lewandowski's older, so they're gonna need guys, and I think injured as well or something like that. So they're gonna need guys to fill in those spaces. And I think for Barcelona's style of play too, he could really do some damage out there. So I'm happy for him. And I think on a loan too for Barcelona, who don't ever have money apparently for any big signings. I like a loan for them, so that's a good signing. Tijjani Reinders. Now this guy. I'm not gonna lie. This was a bit tough because I wanted to say game changer. Now the actual results for City haven't been that great to start the season, so that kind of clouds it a bit. But he did have that one game where he completely ran. It was against Wolves or something, and they always slap Wolves, but he did run the show. He's a goal scoring threat. He's a creative threat. He's an engine. Defensively, he's decent. Not the best, but he's decent. And just the ground he can cover. I think, especially losing De Bruyne, that this is a big signing for them. And the fee wasn't that big either. It was like 45 million or something. Like this again, City, ridiculous. I don't know how they get all these signings for these prices.
I don't understand it, dude.
But him with Rodri coming back, now that could be a nice little midfield when they put maybe someone like a Cherki, Bernardo Silva, someone up to join them. I don't know. I'm stuck between game changer and good.
I don't know enough. I feel like so I have to put him in good.
Fair. But he apparently was. It's kind of confusing because there's two different awards. One was like Serie A MVP, and one was best midfielder in Serie A. I think McTominay won MVP, and Reinders won best midfielder in Serie A, which is kind of funny because McTominay is also a midfielder. But so he was really good last year apparently. But yeah, okay, good. That's fair enough.
That can be a future game changer for them.
Yeah. Now, Benjamin Sesko. How do you feel about this one?
If the price tag wasn't what it was, I would feel good as a long-term option. Young guy with the potential, has the physicality. The last game, some of the headers he was doing, very threatening, and something that we haven't had in a while. It's just that price tag, which makes me lean a bit towards the meh side. And especially because, he hasn't scored yet.
He barely started. Or has he started? I don't even know if he started yet.
He hasn't started, but that's because, to be fair, he was a late signing. He didn't do the preseason.
I don't know.
He's got to take time to adapt. Apparently, he also had not a crazy injury, but some sort of injury that prevented him from playing a full 90 minutes. So,
gotcha. Okay.
I think I think he's got to prove himself a bit. Just looking at these names.
If you're looking at the United signings too, I think if we're going on a scale, I think he is the worst out of the three in terms of a signing.
Yes.
Not Prem proven. Yeah. That's the other thing. Like we talked about earlier, I know you guys are scarred with that, especially with Højlund signing or whatever. The not Prem proven thing is proven to be a real big hiccup for some of these guys. So maybe in 2 years we're like, oh my God, he's flying. But it could take a while to really get going.
It could take a while to see that payoff, which I've said I'm patient for this with this team and what they're going through. So we'll see. But I think right now,
with Gyökeres,
I lean towards mid. Yeah.
I think it's worse than Ekitike, but Gyökeres is a fair level to put him on.
Yeah.
Jonathan Tah.
I don't know anything about this dude.
Yeah, I think he's one of the guys who left Leverkusen, which is like half the team. They just all dipped.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. They saw Ten Hag and they're like,
yeah, now we're out of here. I'm gonna put don't know enough because I know he's set to be good, and that's another one of like he's like the only Bundesliga dude who Bayern actually was able to snag up. But I'm not gonna act like I watch much of him. So Florian Wirtz or whatever. I watched some video of him
right now.
But yeah.
Right now, it's gotta be meh.
Man, it's
for
crazy.
That price tag.
Man, it's crazy.
For that price tag and the performances we've seen, I mean, come on.
Okay, I'm gonna make the case because before watching him, we probably would have said game changer. Now, and I don't think the fall is enough to go to meh. Like, I think he hasn't been amazing. He looks a little lightweight for the Prem, but for Liverpool, I made the same argument for Ekitike. And if you look at them last year, the entire creativity came through one person, which is Mo Salah. Their midfield is kind of similar to Newcastle. Their midfield is just like industrious. They're running, they're tackling, they have an engine, but they don't really have like that real creative. Like Szoboszlai is, but he's more of just like a crazy presser from that cam spot. Wirtz really gives him a real creative hub as a attacking midfielder, and it's a bit of a shame because it means Szoboszlai has to drop back a bit, but he's been great in like right back and DM and everything else. I think Wirtz, if you're looking at for the future, especially too, and Salah phases out, I think now everything's going to go through him. And I think he has a lot of potential in that sense, where I'm still not going to put it in game changer because we have actually seen it play out a little bit and it hasn't been the best, but good, I think, at least. If you look at the names, I can't put them on the same level as like Nkunku and Seshko and those guys.
But Gyökeres,
like, I think Wirtz, also because he's in a team, I think he doesn't have to hit the ground running. Maybe at the beginning of the summer we would have said that because of the fee, but now since then they brought in 90 million Ekitike, 135 million Isak. They still have the best player in the Prem from last year, Salah. He actually doesn't have to hit the ground running in the way we thought he might have. And they also just won the league. Someone like Gyökeres, you have to hit 20 goals this season. Like Arsenal need you to hit 20 goals. United signings, like the attack has to get working because that's like the biggest. You spent all the money on the attack basically. But Wirtz, I think he could actually take some time to get used to it, which is scary because they're still going to be the best team.
All right, you convinced me. Fair enough.
Now this guy, I've done a little bit of research on him. I'm not gonna lie, because I was curious how they're gonna replace Isak. Oh, actually, Vissa isn't on this list too, which is a decent signing. But even though I think they overpaid, but this guy Voltemade, I think he went for like 75 mil or something, which is a hefty fee. Yeah. But if we're comparing Voltemade, Seshko, who else came from the Bundesliga? Ekitike. The scoring per minute ratio for this guy, I think he only started like 17 games and he scored 13 goals for them for Stuttgart last year. And I think Ekitike and Seshko scored maybe a little bit more and way more starts. I think they started over 30 games. Maybe Seshko might not have even scored more. He's 6'6". He's like his feet are good. He looks tech. He looks kind of like Ekitike, where this lanky dude who kind of has the feet, kind of like Isak too. There's like a little bit of that kind of mold is coming together, I think, in soccer right now, where these like tall dudes who are also really technically sound, and his finishing looks good. Doesn't look the quickest, but I think for the Prem, that physicality, the height, I think Newcastle have good wingers. They can get the ball into him. I haven't seen enough to say game changer, but I have a sneaky feeling this guy's going to be really good. But I'm going to put him in good for now, personally.
Yeah, I'll take your word for that. Those stats.
And Eddie Howe is just a good manager. Like, this dude improves every
year.
Xavi Simons. This one.
I feel like we established kind of a good sign.
Yeah, it's got to be good. I think,
gotta be.
Like we talked about some of this game-changing potential, but as of right now, we got to see it in the Prem. You got to see it in the Prem. But I like it. I wanted him at Chelsea. I'm not going to lie. So I got to respect that. Zabarny.
I don't know.
This guy, another Bournemouth center back. They lost both their center backs, him and Hoyson, and they got good ones to replace him. But for PSG, I actually think this is a good signing because I'm not the biggest fan of Marquinhos personally. And I think for the future, he's not the youngest, but for the future, I think that's a good way to slowly phase Marquinhos out of that team. I'm not gonna lie, he's like over 30, I think now. He got his Champions League. You know, he was a good servant for the club, and I think he's been super loyal. But Zabarny can come in and replace him, I think. So I like that.
I see him going to Bundesliga or something.
Yeah. I can see that. Now, Zubimendi, last one, and we'll wrap this up. How do you feel about this signing? I can see that. I can see good. I can't see game changer.
Definitely not game changer.
I just don't think Arsenal, their issue was the midfield. So for me, like for them to get, and he's a different style of midfielder. He's the defensive midfielder. He's more of a tempo controller, but he looks a little lightweight for the Prem too. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know. Like I think he's a good player. Is it a good signing? I mean,
and what was the price too? I forget what the price.
Yeah, that's another big thing because Arsenal didn't necessarily, and they were going back and forth with this guy for a while. I think he actually wanted to go to Madrid, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
they paid 65 million for him, euros. That's a lot for the midfield. Honestly, I think if you put that money toward that left winger, y'all could have had Rodrigo by now, bro. Or maybe not, because honestly, Rodrigo didn't end up going anywhere. It looked like, so maybe he actually wasn't for sale. But yeah, I'm not in love with that signing. I think he still be. If they end up winning the league, I'm sure he'll be part of that. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Now we have to decide before we head out of here. Signing of the summer. Who out of these game changers do you think is the signing of the summer?
Isak. Is it that difficult? Is it that difficult? Let's be real.
Yeah, honestly. Like, I'm trying to think of someone to make a case for. And I do think
I will say a backup. A backup, I think, could be. I think Trent with Madrid is going to take some time.
Yeah.
But I think De Bruyne at Napoli could be second best signing.
Yeah.
Of the summer.
And Napoli, when they love a player, they love a player. I see De Bruyne being like their next icon out there. But yeah, it has to be Isak. So if we're talking about,
we'll do a little 1-2.
Yeah, this is the goat. You know what I'm saying. But if we're talking about the rest of these, we're talking about the league. I think for Isak, we're talking about Champions League aspirations. I think that alone is enough to make him the signing of the summer. But let us know what you guys think. Anyone you think we got completely wrong? You know, we maybe hit some hot takes compared to some other people. I don't think some people would have put Zubimendi in meh or Gyökeres in meh, maybe, or you know. I think we have a bit of hot takes here, but let us know what you guys think in the comments below. If there's anyone you would have swapped around, any signing, you know, some of them were on this list. I just had picked one that had the names, that was a bit helpful, and the club they went to, which is a bit helpful.
Yeah. Sancho, we're ignoring that dude. He's a bum. So
honestly, now
doesn't matter.
No, you're not Chelsea anymore. I'm no longer defending him, bro. See you later. But that's Villa's problem now. But as always, thank you guys for watching. This was a lot of fun. And next time, we got another cool tier list for you guys coming up. We're going to finally get to our predictions. So look out for that. Yeah. But appreciate you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, you know, all that algorithm. What is it? Hubbabaloo or something? Huggabaloo? I don't know what the hell that phrase is. But
yeah, you should just stop right there. Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah. I fumbled it. See y'all later. Peace.
Peace.